I concluded that under the special counsel regulations, it was in the public interest to appoint the special counsel. In the days since, while Mr. Lausch continued the investigation, the department identified Mr. Hur for appointment as special counsel. This morning, President Biden's personal counsel called Mr. Lausch and stated that an additional document bearing classification markings was identified at the president's personal residence in Wilmington, Delaware.
Joining me now, Margot Cleveland. She's always so dynamite on this stuff. She is the senior legal correspondent to the Federalist, and that really undersells how much of this stuff she seems to unpack for us every single time. Okay, Margot, people are a little surprised Merrick Garland would even appoint a special counsel. After all, we have a very corrupt DOJ that's clearly in the tank for Democrats. What am I seeing?
You are seeing the biggest joke ever play out in America. This is absolutely hilarious to me that the Biden administration has been pushed into a special counsel on what really shouldn't have been a scandal, but is a scandal only because of what they did to Donald Trump. They spent the last year telling us this was a big effing deal about these classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. And Biden himself went on air and said, what? Oh, I can't believe anyone was so, what was the word he used? I'm blanking
Irresponsible.
on it. Irresponsible, thank you. How could anyone be so irresponsible? I had a Biden moment there for a second, sorry about that. And what can you do? You're gonna have to pretend like it's a big deal. You know what? This isn't a big deal. The special counsel should have been appointed about the pay-to-play scandal. That's why we needed a special counsel. We didn't need a special counsel on this, but they put themselves in this corner. They made such a big deal about these documents at Mar-a-Lago that they are stuck doing it. And I mean, I've been laughing since the story broke. And then what happened? They found it in the garage. So Trump was irresponsible that he had these at his home in Mar-a-Lago, but they're in the garage. And what do we do about Biden? I mean, it's hilarious. Our real scandals, what's going on in the border. Our real scandals about the economy, what was going on with Twitter, the weaponization of the FBI. This isn't a scandal. This is just hilarious that they are stuck with a special counsel because of what they did to Trump.
They are all over the Biden versus Trump comparisons. Here they are.
The president has been moving with cooperation, moving proactively, moving with integrity, which is more than I can say for the twice impeached former occupant, Donald Trump.
Certainly, former President Trump did not cooperate, and as you said, can be alleged to have obstructed that investigation. In this case, according to what we've learned so far, the Biden folks have all cooperated immediately as far as when they discovered the documents.
There are differences in what happened.
Yes, but the evidence are not good.
Well, we all know that Trump is a liar and a thief. You know, we know that. So it's not that big a jump to say that he obstructed and he lied. We don't think that Biden is a liar and a thief, so we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Of course. Well, you have a great article, I might point out, it's in the Federalist, called "There's a Difference Between Biden and Trump's Classified Document Snafus, but It's Not What You Think." Okay, Margot, enlighten us. What is the difference?
Sure. The difference is how this all started. The day that Trump left the White House, the National Archivist saw him walking to the helicopter, and he said, "What's in those boxes?" He literally said to himself, according to an interview he did, "I wondered what the hell's in those boxes." That is when this whole scenario started. Instead of working with Trump to put the documents in the official hands of the archivist and work on getting his presidential library, they started an investigation. They filed a referral to the DOJ, then the DOJ ends up with a grand jury, and they do this raid on Trump. Had they done what they did with Obama, this never would have happened. And that's, again, why this is just so hilarious. They did another Get Trump hoax. And as a result of it, instead of working like they did with Obama, this is the real difference. They went and created this scandal about Trump. And now what is happening? It's come out, it's about Biden. They have to go forward with this. They have to have a special counsel. And what are you also getting? You're getting the media coming up with these distinctions between the two. You know what? All these distinctions in the world don't matter because Joe Biden said it was irresponsible. It was irresponsible that they're in Mar-a-Lago, but what the heck? They're in his garage? And oh, he didn't know about it. How irresponsible is that with your own documents? Again, it's hilarious that this is happening because they were trying to get Trump. The real distinction was back when he left the Oval Office. The archivist should have worked with Trump to get the National Library set up, to work with the documents, to make sure that they were comfortable with where they were. Instead of sending the FBI into raid, they should have said, let's get this set up at a library so that you have access, which he had the legal right to, and that we are comfortable with where they're preserved. Just like they did at Obama, when Obama had classified documents in a warehouse in suburban Chicago, but technically under the archivist's control.
Margot, I can't help but notice that these documents keep getting discovered by Joe Biden's own people. These aren't Republican operatives here. They're Democrat operatives who are discovering these things and bringing the attention of the DOJ and the media. Am I looking at a palace coup here?
No, you are not looking at a palace coup. And this is how you know it's not a palace coup. If they wanted to get Joe Biden, they would do it in a way that doesn't hand on a platter Donald Trump something. This is helping Trump while getting Biden. They're never going to do that. I think what we're looking at is very simply someone who was refusing to bury it happened to be present when they found classified documents at the think tank, which again, by itself is hilarious. So you have those classified documents. You have someone who said, well, you know what, we're going to have to turn these over to the archivist. It was someone who was not willing to just deep six them and ignore it. And then what do you have to do? Well, the archivist has to go and then take it to the DOJ because that's what they did with Trump. Then the DOJ has to take it to a U.S. attorney and then to a special counsel because that's what they did with Trump. No, this isn't a coup. This is them realizing they're going to have to act like they're taking it seriously because of the scandal that they started with Trump.
Act like they're taking it seriously. Okay. Hunter, is there any teeth to this Hunter Biden stuff?
Well, there should be, and that's where the special counsel should have been. But this has been going on since before the 2020 election, where the investigation was going forward. We know that all the things that we saw from the New York Post before the election were real. We know that there was a selling of access going on. We don't know how much of this was in violation of the law, but we've had this investigation going on in Delaware for years. The Delaware office does not have the capability to follow all of these threads internationally, China, Ukraine, who knows where else. So yeah, there's something to it, but this is the scandal. This is the real scandal that we need a special counsel. And I haven't seen what the Attorney General did as far as how broad the scope was, but it might be broad enough. If not, there's got to be an investigation into this. And hopefully the House Republicans are going to look at it to see what corruption was going on with the Biden family finances, but more so with the FBI, because the FBI was burying this and feeding Twitter misinformation. And that's a bigger scandal too.
Margot Cleveland, thank you so much. I appreciate you.